Life got you down? Feeling a bit frustrated? Not sure what to do? Well, you have stopped by the right place. Living Life Victoriously is your station for inspiration, encouragement, and refueling. Here we will discover together what it means to live a victorious life with your host, Victoria E. Henderson. I want you to know that you are not alone. So sit back, relax, just for a little while, and let's talk about it. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, one. Good evening, all. Welcome to Living Life Victoriously, February 2024 edition. Hang on a second. Let me share it with a few folks who like me to do that really quickly, and then I will be all yours. Yes. Hang on. Just a second. All right. I think that's it. Good evening. Hey, Nikayetta, how are you this evening? Hold on. Let me get my papers together. My little desk space here. I want to go back so I can see the comments. All right. Okay, comments. There we go. Hello. Hi, Nikayetta. Hey, Elder Hines. How are you? Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. All right, let me start again. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Living Life Victoriously. Victory 24. Victory 24 for the second and fourth Mondays of each month. Here we are in February 2024. Hold on. Y'all, give me a second. Oh, Lord. I had to find a place to put my hotspot there. It doesn't like it on my computer. All right. There we go. We are in February 2024. I am your host, Victoria E. Henderson, and I'm so happy to be with you tonight. We have slid right into February, and oh my goodness, I can't believe it. So many people saying, I can't believe it's already February. And we are here to support one another and how we can live victoriously together. How are you? You say you good, Nikayetta? Good. How are you, Elder? She said, hello, beautiful lady. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Nikayetta says she's already shared the live. Please, if you are on tonight, please go ahead and share it. And know that we are going to have a replay of this show right here on ALH Broadcasting on this coming Saturday evening at 6 p.m. I am also excited to share that Living Life Victoriously can now be seen on YouTube. It'll be on ALH Broadcasting Network on YouTube, as well as Living Life Victoriously. Yes, I have my own channel on YouTube. So yes, indeed, as ALH is expanding, Living Life Victoriously is as well. I am excited to see where God is taking us this year. So please keep us in your prayers. I just can't believe it. It's on the YouTube channels as well, and I'm really excited. I was going to have my first guest tonight. We've had a few transitions under the ALH Broadcasting Network, and that's fine. But my first guest, we rescheduled, and so next week, 2 weeks from now, because I'm on the second and fourth Mondays of each month. On my next show, I will have my first guest. So be sure that you come back and tune in so you can see who is going to be my first guest on Living Life Victoriously. Yes. Did you guys enjoy the halftime show yesterday at the Super Bowl? Did anybody watch the Super Bowl? If you're watching, Nikayetta, did you see it? Or Elder Hines, did you guys see the halftime show? I did. And, living with my children, they're going to make sure that we saw that halftime show. And they couldn't be quiet. Give me the critique on the halftime show. But what did you think of it? I enjoyed it. Looking at Usher, and he had on one of my favorite colors. Y'all know I love that blue, that royal blue color. And Ruth said to me earlier, she said, "Do you know he's 45? And he was on the roller skates. Did y'all see him on the roller skates?" It was a beautiful show. I really did enjoy that. So I am so glad that we got to see something like that in our lifetime. Just to see, you missed it. Oh, you got to go back. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'm sure it is somewhere. And Alicia Keys, he had her, and he had my one of my favorites, Ludacris. With that his nice little Afro. I like Ludacris. He's one of my little celebrity crushes. So go back and see it. It was good. But anyway, that's I just wanted to see if you showed it. I always like to talk a little bit about something that's happening in the world. And on my last couple of shows, it's always something kind of going on in the world. But I thought the Super Bowl and seeing that halftime show was really, really something positive and something upbeat. So today I want to talk a little bit about Black History Month, and of course, since it's Valentine's Day in a few days, that's why I have my hearts on, my heart jewelry, and I want to talk about love. But for Black History Month, I just wanted to share a little bit. I wasn't aware of where it all stemmed from. I wasn't aware of how it all started. And as always, if I don't know, I figure maybe somebody else didn't know how Black History Month has started. I on my social media pages, I've been sharing since I'm an author. You have your regulars of Black History Month. You always hear about Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and some of the other names. But I wanted to highlight authors. And so I've been highlighting a few authors on my social media page. So if you're a friend of mine on Facebook or Instagram or on TikTok, Victoria E. Henderson, you can go back and share, not share, but just read about some of the authors that I have shared with this month. And it's very interesting. I have actually done some digging. This is where all this started. I did some digging in order to find some of the authors and some people that not well known. So I said, how did Black History Month start anyway? So I'm going to share a little bit of that today. I looked this up, of course. I have to look things up, and this is from history.com. Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans. And it's a time for recognizing our central role in United States history. Also known as African American History Month, the event grew out of Negro History Week. It was the brainchild of noted historian Carter G. Woodson. And see, I never knew that. And other prominent Americans, African Americans. The story of Black History Month begins in 1915, half a century after the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. That September, the Harvard-trained historian Carter G. Woodson and a prominent minister of that time, Jesse E. Moreland, they founded this association called the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. And it's an organization that was dedicated to researching and promoting achievements by Black Americans and other people of African descent. And it is known today as the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. I didn't even know that it is still around today. The group sponsored they called then a National Negro History Week in 1926, choosing the second week of February to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. That event inspired schools and communities nationwide to organize local celebrations, establish history clubs, and host performances and lectures. In the decades that followed, many mayors of cities across the country began issuing yearly proclamations recognizing Negro History Week. By the late 1960s, thanks in part to the civil rights movement and a growing awareness of Black identity, Negro History Week had evolved into a whole Black History Month on many college campuses. And it wasn't until 1976 that President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month in the United States. He called upon the public to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. I didn't know that. Now, y'all, you know what? All I know is that year after year, February after February, Black History Month, Black History Month. That as all we were taught in school, I did not know why. And I thought, like I said, I thought it was just important that sometimes we understand why we do some of the things we do. So I didn't know President Ford was responsible for establishing that as a regular month. So today, Black History Month is indeed a time to honor the contributions and legacies of African Americans across U.S. history and society, from activists and civil rights pioneers, such as the ones I named already: Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, also to leaders in industry, politics, science, culture, literature, and more. And another known fact that I didn't know: the NAACP was founded in February 1909, the centennial anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. Right? Nakeda said, "Good for President Ford." I know. I just didn't know that it was President Ford who did that. So, and I didn't know also that each Black History Month had a theme. So for 2024, I didn't know this, but 2024 theme for is African American in the arts. And so that's this year, explores the key influence African Americans have had in the fields of visual and performing arts. Again, I didn't know that. So like I said, I was just doing authors because there's some really prominent leaders in literature and all and writings that I didn't know, and I've just been researching them and sharing them on my page. I shared today Elin Harris. Elin Harris, I know about him, so I could talk about Elin Harris. Elin Harris was an openly gay African American writer, and I know the subject matter is a little distasteful for some. But I shared his work because he left quite a body of work. His books went up to #1 sellers, and he wrote 10 bestsellers, and it was about the life of gay Black African American African men in the United States, and he shed light on how they felt and how they were attacked, and he based his stories loosely on his life. And so some of the things that he wrote were things that he actually went through. And as I read his books and knowing that they were autobiographical in nature, it had me in tears at times, because he really wrote from his heart, and he wrote his feelings. James Baldwin, Nakeda wrote James Baldwin, right? We always heard about James Baldwin. Do you know any books by name, Nikki? Do you know any of James Baldwin's books? But we just have a plethora of talented writers in our community, and I just, like I said, I'm going to continue writing. Sharing some of our writers and just bringing light that playwrights. I did John Singleton the other day. John Singleton, he was the writer and producer, I think, of the movie Boys in the Hood, and he wrote a lot more things than that. So I highlighted him, and that he passed away of cancer, and it's just look it up, y'all. Google some stuff. Google some of our folks in history. And also, in light of it being February and Valentine's Day, of course, I wanted to share with you a little bit about love. And because we got that history going, I said, you know what? Valentine's Day. Do y'all know how Valentine's Day started? Now, there's a lot of different, I found that out too. There are a lot of different, also, I found this out on history.com. The history of Valentine's Day, which occurs every February 14th. And this year is this coming Wednesday. But who is this mysterious saint, and where did these traditions come from of how we all celebrate Valentine's Day? And I think I just wanted to talk about Valentine's Day because I know for me, there have been times when because of the commercialism of Valentine's Day, I always felt like I didn't get treated like I should have on Valentine's Day. I never I don't like the chocolates that you get from the dollar store, and somehow or another I would always get those nasty dollar store chocolates, and the kind of when you bite into it you just never know what you're going to get, and especially the one you bite into is cherry on the inside. I don't like that. Like I said, I wasn't sure of the name of the actual name of the book, but James Baldwin, you had me. James Baldwin, he wrote Souls of Black Folks. You know what? Don't you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna no, I'm not gonna start calling it out because then it's gonna be wrong. But I know James Baldwin that's a shame, and I should know all of his, but I don't. Okay, we're gonna go back to Valentine's Day. But where did Valentine's Day originate from? According to history.com, the history of the holiday is shrouded itself in mystery. We do know that February has long been celebrated as a month of romance, and that Saint Valentine's Day, as we know it, contains vestiges of both Christian and ancient Roman tradition. So I'm not going to read all of this, but look it up. History.com has a lot of back and forth about the origins of Valentine's Day being a pagan faith festival that was held in February. It talks about a saint who survived the the initial rise of Christianity, but this day was outlawed. It wasn't until later in the 5th century that Pope Gelasius declared February 14th as Saint Valentine's Day. During the Middle Ages, it was commonly believed in France and England that February 14th was the beginning of birds' mating season, which added to the idea that the middle of Valentine's Day, it should be a day for romance. So like I said, this is a whole lot. And then it says, who is Cupid and how did Cupid come into it? So you know what? I'm going to throw all this out. We are done with how Valentine's Day came to be. But I wanted to share a little bit with you, regardless of how your Valentine's Day is spent, whether you have a boo or you don't have a boo. And like I had said, to me, Valentine's Day is every day. That's right, because that is a day to show love, but it should be more than one day. And that's the message that I wanted to leave tonight, that, love is an action word. And that is actually the title of what one of my entries in my book called When I Need a Word, God Speaks. And I thought of that as I thought about Valentine's Day and what it meant. And to show, we want to show love. Let's show love every day. So I'm going to read this, a little bit of it. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to read some of it. Love is an action word. This is how, and I wrote this in April of 2014, okay? This is how we've come to understand and experience love. That Christ sacrificed his love for us, his life for us. This is why we ought to live sacrificially for our fellow believers and not just for ourselves. If you see some brother or sister in need and have the means to do something about it, but you turn a cold shoulder and do nothing, what happens to God's love? It disappears, and you made it disappear. That's 1 John 3:16-17 in the Message Bible. Lately, I have been hit with some serious challenges as a mother of 3 growing and challenging girls. What in the world happened to my darling babies who I dressed up, held in my arms, and cried when I had to leave them anywhere? When did they turn into people that hurt me with shrugs of their shoulders, dirty looks, and not doing well at school and at home, and not being close to the potential? When did I join the ranks of parents who had reason to complain about kids who had suddenly turned into monsters that I didn't recognize. When did it turn, Lord? Oh, Lord, you set me up when they were born. That past week, I seriously struggled with some new pains and I cried more days than one over what to do about what we were facing. What was my part in creating the mess? And how could they do this to me? And being real, Lord, help me not to be resentful and regretful over how my life had turned around about. I can tell you for myself that when you seek the Lord, he will answer. I can also testify that it may not always be the answer you think it will be, but the Lord will comfort you as only he can. In the midst of my crying and whining, he gently reminded me of the love he has shown to me and how I must now extend that same love to my children and anyone else who has hurt me. More and more, I am fully convinced that love is more than a four-letter word. Recent events in my life and those of others have shown me that people can say they love you and do quite the opposite in showing you. I have also seen acts of pure unselfishness being done and not a word was spoken. What motivates some to show love and others to just say it? Sometimes the way some people act towards you makes you declare that they couldn't love you at all. But what I discovered to be fact is that love is present and real, whether you feel it or not. In my most unlovable state, God extended his love towards me and gave me a chance to live a new life in him. He did not base it on whether I loved him back or he even cared that he loved me. He simply loved and protected me despite me. My Savior had me on his mind. And this I know, but God had to remind me again how, despite the great mess I had been, he loved me through the process. And now I had to do the same for my children. I did not fully understand or appreciate his grace until much later in my life. And I have to realize that neither will they understand the lessons I'm trying to teach them until they experience life outside of the cocoon I have built around them. If I say I love them, I must correct what I see wrong quickly and firmly, but with the thought in mind that discipline is part of the process. They must learn life will not always be peaches and cream. If I love them, I will not allow them to believe that their actions do not have consequences and affects others. They have to know that they don't live on an island, but they are connected in some way to everything around them and that everything they do affects others. That regardless of their young age, their actions will affect them for the rest of their lives. This love thing is deep, my friends. We cannot say we love someone and then seeing them in pain or suffering or going down a wrong path, just do nothing. We cannot allow how we feel to prevent us from extending the same grace that was shown to us. Loving someone despite how dirty their sins are or what they do to us is not an easy task. And I know that to be true. Loving someone while you know they do not have your best interest at heart is a hard thing. Let me say that again. Loving someone while you know they do not have your best interest at heart is a hard thing. How do you love when your first instinct is to run? How do you love when the hurt comes from them? Sometimes it's the closest to you. How do you love family members when they say mean things and church members who are supposed to uplift you, but they fall down on the job? Spouses who don't understand you or your children who are still a little bit immature and hurt you. All I can suggest to you tonight is Jesus. We used to sing a song in church, an old hymn. Turn your eyes upon Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. And so I say we have to focus on Jesus. And as I was writing this, I said, tears are rolling down as I write this, as I begin to fall focus on Jesus. I pray right now for you, and I pray for me. I pray God will give us the strength to endure and love someone out of their sins and into the place where God can use them for his glory. I pray I can do this not just for my kids, but for everyone I come in contact with. And it's ironic that I wrote this around the Easter season. It says, in this Easter season, may the power of the resurrection be more than just a story, but a time of renewal for us to truly show love in action in all we do. Blessed be the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So if you want to read some more, go and get my book, Victoria E. Henderson's When I Need a Word, God Speaks. And I just knew I had to share that with you because love is an action word. We cannot say that we love somebody and, like I said, see them going down a wrong path, or thank you, Elder Hines, see them going down a wrong path. And I tell you, it was not until I had my children that I began to really understand what unconditional love is. Because parenthood is not for the weak of the and a faint of heart. It'll take you there and back. And even if you don't have children, there are the things sometimes that people will do to you, and you don't understand, and you think that you're being kind to somebody, and you find out they're talking about you. It's all kind of situations. But I know that if I have the love of Christ inside me, then I have to look beyond what people do and concentrate just on that love part. If I am to be all that he has me to be, I gotta forgive. I gotta forgive, and I gotta extend to them that same grace, that was given to me. I gotta extend to everyone I come in contact with. And so that is my message for tonight, that in this season of Black History Month, and then the season of Valentine's, and I used to say, and y'all know, some of you know me, know that I've said this, Valentine, schmalentine, whatever. But it's not just about the love between a man and a woman, or my boo, or don't have a boo. It is the love that I want to celebrate in every form. I love you guys who are with me here on this live tonight. Andrea Hines, Nikaeta Williams, Ruth Griffin. I love you guys. I truly do. You love me. And as a matter of fact, this show tonight, I am dedicating to two women in my life who love me. And I know that I wouldn't be half the woman I am today without their love. And that is Andrea Hines and Ruth Griffin. I love you guys. And they are my co-host on Authors Up. We have a good time every Sunday night at 7:00. We do life together with these beautiful stories. And they just have encouraged me and loved me, and they don't even know it sometimes how much they encourage me and have pushed me on. And so I thank them for their belief in me and their love. And like I said, this Valentine's Day, I'm not going to cry about no balloons, no flowers. I'm just going to celebrate the love. And how about I want to show love? I'm going to buy some balloons or something for somebody who, I don't know, just pick somebody, somebody random, and do something for somebody else. And that's, I know, is going to make me feel better. And so that's what I want to leave you guys with. Show love this Valentine's Day. Don't let it just be about some earrings or a necklace with a heart on it. That's superficial stuff. Show somebody that you love them. Okay? Yay! She said, "Oh, are you making my eyes leak?" No, don't start, because if I'm not gonna start tonight about making people's eyes leak. Before I go tonight, I also want to remind. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get this right. I'm gonna get this right. I'm gonna get this right, Ruth. I want to remind you about Joy 365. Joy 365 is still available, and I'm going to be talking about Joy 365 all year long. I, along with a couple of other wonderful folks that I know, we are co-authors in this book, beautiful book called Joy 365. It is dedicated as a devotional dedicated to joy restoration 365 days of the year. 365 co-authors have come together, compiled by Dr. Vanessa Blackwell, to spread love and joy the whole year. So if you would like to get the book, all right, I'm gonna do one more thing. If you want to get the book, send me an email, livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com for your copy. And I will be happy to get you an autographed copy. Let me know if you like the book. All right. Get the book. Wrong show, but still. Nice tag. Get the book. I love you too, Nikayetta. I love you too. I love you guys so much. I'm telling you, this year, 2024, is just it's just going to be a blessed year. It is already. It started out with a bang. Now, let's not be confused. Still going through some things at work, but it's going to be all right. And I'll let you guys in on another little secret. I started the day not feeling good at all. It was a push. I got to work. I was hurting. Got to work. I even let some tears fall this morning as I was sitting at my desk, and they came in. What's the matter? I said, it just hurts me so much. But I prayed and I asked God to help me, and he did. And he did. And he helped me once again. I told Ruth, I said, I had to put some makeup because, makeup covers a whole multitude of sins. But God is so good that he helped me feel better inside and out. And I'm just so grateful for another chance to show his love on living life victoriously. So I thank you again for taking time to be with me tonight. Again, if you have any questions or comments, you'd like to be a guest on the show, send me an email at livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. I finished my event scheduling platform and I'm all ready to rock and roll. So again, I'll be here the second and fourth Mondays of each month. I'll be right here on ALH Broadcasting and on Facebook, and also on ALH Broadcasting and Living Life Victoriously on YouTube. And I think that's it for tonight. Thank you again so much for being here. I have enjoyed myself immensely, and I couldn't do it without you all. So thank you. I will see you again. Okay, hold on. Y'all give me a break. This is my first time doing some of this stuff. Good night.
I pray something you heard on today's show has helped you and has given you the encouragement to keep on pressing. Let me know your thoughts. You can send me an email at livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. Also, for more inspirational content, you can check out my blog called Still Waters over at wordpress.com. Walk in victory daily and join me the second and fourth Mondays of each month. Remember, live life victoriously.